Alright, welcome back everybody to the Bladesong Dynasty. This is episode 4 of our recurring role-playing Dynasty in King of the Castle. What are we doing here? We basically created a little premise that shifts up a little bit what happens in a normal King of the Castle game. We created different social and political situations that describe the culture of this kingdom, and we're now role-playing in said kingdom, in said conditions. Specifically, this kingdom is really focused on personal deeds, personal glory, eternal glory, you know, that survives the person who commits the deeds. So somebody who achieves glory even after their death through songs and ballads and hymns sung about them and about their deeds. So it's all about the nobles and what they do and how their actions resound in history. It's not really much about monarchs. Monarchs, of course, are going to be at the center of what we do here, but a lot of attention is also going to be at what you all do on Discord. So, for instance, it is very important right now in the kingdom that a Siena Tind won the first celebratory joust that was organized. A Siena Tind made House Tind incredibly prestigious right now. So if something comes up where Siena Tind is pit against another noble, you know on which side the judgment is gonna lean. Probably it's gonna be following the person who is the most renowned. Hey, I Soothsayer, greetings to you. Thank you so much for the biddies. 100 beats, that's very kind of you. I'm glad you could catch a stream too. Welcome in. Thank you so much. How you doing? So yeah, Marley ended up winning the joust organized by Howitzer, and so House Tind has a lot of renown, has won a lot of glory. Yeah, exactly. Huzzah for House Tind, both victor of the Grand Joust and related to the monarch by marriage. Bon, of course. You came second. That's still very important, but not as important as the winner. Glad to hear you're doing great. The stream is doing absolutely great. We just started, and I have a little something for you. So this is what we do. This is Bladesong. There is a link pinned in chat in case you've never played this. You might want to click on that, join our Discord, and take a look at all the info. The link might actually lead you to our World Anvil page, by the way, not Discord. But yeah, you might also want to join our Discord and take a look at all the info. About this dynasty. I mean, not you specifically, Axesayer, but for everybody. So, in case you're first joining, or in case you're a recurring person here, but don't really remember what happened last time. Also, because it's been 2 weeks, because last week I was not feeling too well and I had to call off the stream. We have very useful summary from our awesome That Which Lurks. So let me quickly read it to you to give you an idea of what happened last time, so that can inform your roleplay for this episode. Previously on the Bladesong Dynasty, in the reign of monarch Calimaco III the Holy, who reigned from 983 to the year 1001. Calimaco III grew up fierce as the southern sun, convinced of their supremacy, martial or otherwise. Impatient to hear songs about their glorious reign, they bribed a biographer to portray them as a living god. Their poor use of money moved their bitter step-aunt, Lady Patrician Sabina, to try and put the crown into debt. Calimaco dismissed Smote Lemongrave's thesis until they threatened to tear apart the church which supported their reign. Commoners begged for a savior. The barons gladly put forward one general, Luca Hadan. Calimaco vowed to stay chaste for the 9th, to please whichever creed would win. In the end, the council had Lemongrave and the Archbishop come to terms. The kingdom was reunited in fervor, and Calimaco briefly fulfilled their dream of training under the Sisterhood of Steel. This did not stop the plots. The treasurer was fired for letting Sabina threaten the realm with bankruptcy if she was not made queen. Commoners flocked to Lucca. The feeble coastal navy was wiped out when the council sent it after raiders. The pirate queen refused to settle the issue through a duel. The monarch had to hire her crew as privateers to stop the attacks. This broke Calimaco's trust in honor, making them more cynical and humble. With bribes and realpolitik, they pulled through a ruinous diplomatic incident that the ruffians had caused with Kurth. Now unable to pay the pirates, the council sent the newly rebuilt fleet against them, and it was sunk again. Lucca celebrated. Upset patricians would justify placing the monarch in protective custody. Yet, Calimaco was respected, even by wizards, as they built up their legend as a saintly figure, mostly through well-placed bribes. Calimaco III, the Holy, was canonized and led a zealous kingdom uncontested. Hymns were written for them, but it was not sainthood that changed them, only the stark lessons that came before. And this is what happened previously on the Bladesong Dynasty. Please give a big round of applause to That Which Lurks for providing this incredible summary. As always, thank you so much. As always, Lurks. These are fundamental. I have no idea how I would have remembered everything that happened after 2 weeks if I didn't have this to read. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lurks. Oh boy. So, moving on now to the current episode. I'm going to be playing as King Calimaco IV, the adopted cousin of Monarch Calimaco III, and his motto, rather, is, as you may see in the title, broken yet unbeaten. Broken yet unbeaten. And I have a little bit of a backstory for you on that one. But first, let's get the coronation going. Feather Phoenix Saloon, welcome back. Chancellor Oswin, it's really nice to meet you. Hello. Your Majesty, it was an honor to serve your parent, but now it's your time to wear the crown. As is tradition, the council will decide what happens at your coronation. Yes, let's get this over with. Shall we call the nobles in? No, yeah, not broken in that sense. No, this is not a new chancellor. Alright. I mean, I think we should have a religious ceremony, right? That's in tune with what the previous reign was. I think that's what we should do. Like, it's basically honoring the memory of Calimaco III for one last time before taking the crown. Right? Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. We honor Calimaco III the Holy and move the crown to Calimaco IV. I think that's what we should do. Finally a ninth ceremony. I think it makes sense, right? Like, it's at the same time honoring the previous monarch and recognizing the new monarch who's stepping into on the throne, right? See, it's tradition. It really looks like you've been like, it's really evident you've missed the first few streams, because there's not a lot of river tradition in this kingdom, apparently. All right. Religious ceremony that honors the ninth god and Saint Calimaco III too. Thank you, dear council, for recognizing how my parents' role was important for the kingdom. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a very kind act of you. Yeah. Religious ceremony. In the hallowed halls of St. Bertrand's Cathedral, the Archbishop places the crown upon your head before launching into a sermon. And that is why Calimaco IV is the king, ordained by divine right, chosen by the ninth god, and elevated above all. If the assembled nobles were plotting against you, perhaps the threat of eternal damnation has given them second thought? Probably not. Yeah, right? Only 25% rerun rate. Yeah. There you go. Fantastic. Thank you. I really appreciate that, my dear council. For real. So let me introduce... Let's get introduced to the council, and then let me tell you who this Calimaco IV is. Now that you're the king, your first duty is to meet with the Council of Nobles. Patricians, who are you sending? From the Lemongrade crisis to max church influence in all regions, the church has spun things around and is stronger than ever before, right? Yeah, because they incorporated Lemongrade. Yeah. Lemon Square, I'm doing great. How about you? Morgrim, hello, Morgrim. A pleasure, your august majesty. I hope to see our kingdom prosper and grow wealthy under your reign. Hello, thank you. Then we have Lemon Square, there you go, just arrived. I hope you have songs for me. May the ninth god bless your reign, your holiness. I trust you will conduct yourself with honor and faith. We will. And from the barons. Actual literal trash coming back strong. Hail and well met, your highness. Under your leadership, we'll whip this kingdom into shape, huh? Of course we will. That's twice for Lemon, huh? Imperal Kate, welcome back. Thank you for joining. The council hall immediately fills with raised voices as the nobles argue. Is this what your parent fought so hard for? Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, this is so perfect for the things I wrote down. So, the things I've thought for Calimaco IV. So Calimaco IV was raised very closely by Calimaco III, because Calimaco III was in didn't have a spouse, right? So they basically raised Calimaco IV on their own. So they followed their cousin and instructed him very closely. Bravesy Robert, welcome back and thank you for joining. So that is one thing. He's been educated very, very extensively about how to rule, and I think that he probably, like, what the motto refers to is, I think they had a really bad experience with jousting. I think he was a very promising jouster, you know, and was very young, and fought in jousts all across the kingdom, and never once was defeated. They had some ties maybe, but never once they had a loss. And then their jousting career, no, they do. He does like jousting. He does like jousting. He does like jousting. He was a great jouster, is what I'm saying. Wait, where does this doesn't like jousting come from? What did I say that made you misunderstand? What did I say that got misunderstood? No, seriously, what did I say to be so tragically misunderstood? Bad experience, doesn't like it. That's not how it is. Wow, you jumped to conclusions really quickly there, everybody. No, that's not how it is at all. Bested by someone from my family? I think I was a jouster like you once, then I took a lance to the knee. Pretty much that, yeah. So that's funny. So I think that in the final joust that Calimaco IV rode, no. The way it went was, in the finals, he had a really rough impact with the other competitor, and basically it ended up in a tie, quote unquote, where they both unhorsed each other, They both flew to the ground, and the lances shattered for both. And Calimaco IV had splinters go, like big splinters, in different parts of his body. So he probably has a limp now, and maybe has a big scar on his chest. And the other person, who was a prestigious noble, just died. Or maybe like the first heir, right? Like the firstborn and heir of a very prestigious family just freaking died. So he killed this very important noble and got seriously injured to the point that he maybe there was even a doubt that he might survive. But hasn't been able to joust anymore after that. Thrifty, hello. Yeah, I've seen that, Katori. Oceanus, very welcome back. How does that sound? But he would love to keep jousting. Like, he doesn't regret that, you know? Of course, it's a little bit, you know? It's not great that he killed that person accidentally. He fell off, yeah. I mean, maybe if you replace his legs with wheels, he could joust again. Get out of here, Johnny. Serious joust talk I'm hearing? Yes. Yes. Calimaco human wheels. Oh, maybe that, yeah. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, what I'm saying is, he was seriously injured, to the point that people thought he might die. But then, his parent prayed for him, and people said, oh, the Ninth saved him. Through the intercession of Saint Calimaco III, you know? Yeah, also minor spine or back damage, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah. Exactly, Marley, yes. So I don't know, if the identity of the noble who was killed is up for grabs. If you can agree on it, feel free to discuss about it. But yeah, right, that was also thought to be one of the miracles of Calimaco III. Yeah. I would not mind if it was one of my children who died as a result. Would explain with why my 80-year-old character is still in council. I mean, keep in mind, Tial, that nobles age very slowly in King of the Castle. It's not unheard of to have nobles who are 120, 150, even 200 years old. So 80 is not super old. In case you want to reframe that, like 80 is absolutely normal. Like it would be like a 50-year-old in our day and age. And doesn't want to joust anymore. He just cannot. He would love to joust. Yeah, they're also really elves, exactly. Head, back, arm damage. Horse falling is where the leg damage occurs. Ah, okay. Then yeah, that would probably be back end or minor spinal injury. Yeah. You know, Talis, I actually have a theory on this. Like, if I had to... Okay, little, very small digression here. If I had to give a justification on why monarchs died quickly, I would say that probably people know that, like, there's some weird shit going on in this world, where if you become monarch, it seeps away life essence from you. It might be the crowns, it might be... I don't know what it is. You know? But I think, like, if I had to rule it, there would be something. Like, if you're fighting to become a monarch, you know that you'll end up much sooner. You'll end up dying much sooner, much earlier than you would otherwise. If you just kept being a noble. You know? Like, that's my headcanon for it. It just appeared out of nowhere with no clue who anyone is. Yeah, exactly, sweet. Exactly. Fisher King, I'm not familiar with the details. It's wild. It's kind of a curse, right? Yeah. The crown needs the fancy energy to keep shiny, yeah. That makes so much sense, right? That's my headcanon. That's what it lurks writing down. But yeah, that's how I've been thinking about it. Exactly. You have claimants because you don't want to die. You don't want to die. You are nobles who are scheming and pushing other people in front to become monarchs because you don't want to die. You want to live longer. This fantasy world clearly has a connection between being monarch and magical power, right? Like the dreams of being. Yeah, Gordius asks for the monarch tooth as payment in return for magic, and the dreams of being the magic bee creature from the dream world have especially interest in monarchs. Exactly, right? So, I'm familiar with the fact that it's a mythology trope, but the king is the kingdom is the king. Right. You're right. Yes. Yeah, I know that part, but I'm not sure how it relates to what I'm saying. No, I wouldn't say something as trivial as stress. I would say something actually inescapable, like some magical contrivance, something forced. You know, it's a curse from the succession wars. If the wrong family gets the throne, they can't keep it. I don't like that. Because I think it has to be something that goes for everybody, every monarch. The crown is actually made of lead. That's funny. Yeah, stressful. No. Throne staff slides force from the monarch to give it to the nobles. Maybe that, right? But yeah, something like Fisher King too would make sense, right? Like, I don't want to go into the details, but yeah, I mean, I said it was going to be a short digression, but yeah. Alwich Foget. 3 is pretty good, right? Telling me the 4th a new leg. I don't know. That's actually pretty cool. The crown seeps life energy, yeah, right? Oh, okay. I don't know. I'd rather leave it indeterminate right now and maybe work on it later on if needed. That's true, Morgrim, yeah. Alright. Alright. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, you know? That's my headcanon for it. Aya and Alma live long lives? Yeah, maybe they were super powerful. Maybe they were super powerful. Who knows? You know, like, it's also fun to try to figure out why were they the exception to the rule? Why were they special? You know, like, that opens up the possibility for a lot of stuff. But let's close that. Let's close this digression, and let's actually start the game, because otherwise it's gonna be 3 AM before we're done tonight. So let's start with the path to victory for King Calimaco IV, broken yet unbeaten. Because he's been broken, but he's still undefeated. And he brags about it, right? Like, that's something he's proud about. Yes, I can never joust again. I now have a limp. But I've never been beaten. Nobody ever defeated me. Oh, feel free to have that on Discord. Your Majesty, you have some big boots to fill. And with your parent out of the picture, the nobles will be looking for any opportunity to replace you. When you die, how do you hope the kingdom will remember you? Shiny Quarks, welcome back. I strongly recommend you go back like 5 minutes and watch the VOD from 5 minutes back. Because we just went into a cool lore discussion. Just 5 minutes should be more than enough. But yeah, it's about my headcanon for why the monarchs live much shorter than the nobles. You can have the conversation on Discord, Vaspir. So I think that based on the teachings that Calimaco IV has been given by his parent, what he wants to do is keep the bar low and try to be a peacekeeper. An admirable aim. I suggest over the next few years you focus on improving the kingdom's stability as much as possible. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I think so. Cyfurious, welcome back, and welcome broke. Gloria of the Chara system bloodline. Eccentric former bandit stands before a blazing hearth, roaring with arms outstretched. Sorry. But lost his mind. No, we're good. We didn't go insane. Whenever the barons of the march backed down from a fight, never. I know you'll do whatever it takes to put me, your rightful queen, on the throne. Barons of the march, what do you want to do to overthrow King Calimaco IV? Do you want to try to look for a doppelganger, trying to lower your own defiance? Do you want to modernize the army, trying to lower other people's military? Or do you want to stash gunpowder, trying to lower authority? Barons, vote now. Hello, Cyfurious. There's only one way to find out, Northwind. But I love, like, to want to become a claimant, only the most reckless and ambitious of nobles really aim at becoming claimants. Or the more, you know, or only the more Luda claimants, the nobles, end up becoming claimants. Yeah, there you go, Northwind. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. Medieval Metal Gears. Modernization it is. The barons plan to modernize the kingdom's army in such a way that it's totally under their control. First, they must prove the military is in need of reform. It is. To advance their scheme, they must lower the other region's military to a combined total of 10 or less in 4 seasons. Okay, I watched it. Awesome. Awesome. You watched it in 3 minutes? Wow. You sped it up. Welcome back, Shiny Cards. Devi of the Mystery Dragon lineage, infamous Southern Elder, stands bathed in sunshine, ranting in a fury. A false pretender occupies the throne while my claim is ignored. Grandees of the South, this is a stain on our honor. We must not allow it to go unanswered. Alright. Grandees of the South, what do you want to do? Do you want to... do you want to use sorcery and ask for the help of a wizard trying to raise authority? Do you want to use subterfuge trying to lower stability? Or do you want to intimidate the king and try to raise stability? Debbie is from... Crap, I forgot already. Oh crap, I forgot. Mystery, yeah, thank you. It's from mystery. Intimidation. Alright. Wow. Looks like it's intimidation. We only have one heretical grandee. The grandees plan to hold the king hostage in his own palace. First, they must lull the spy master into a false sense of security. To advance their scheme, they must raise stability to 5 or more in 4 seasons. Alrighty. And finally we have Marcus of the Cyfurious family. Eccentric Costa Rapscallion scribbles with a well-used quill on a hardwood desk, muttering in frustration. Mystery Dragon, you have a claimant. Yeah. Fellow patricians of the coast, my claim to the throne is far more legitimate than that of King Calimaco IV. Something must be done. Patricians of the coast, what do you want to do? Do you want to start an uprising, trying to raise the treasury? Do you want to start a conspiracy, trying to lower the treasury? Or do you want to spread corruption, trying to lower authority? And I love that when corruption is an option, the first vote is always that of sparse corruption. True to their name. Oh no, A is winning? What? Oh my god, A is winning. See, it's catching up. What is going on here? Patricians, decide. This is 5 versus 4. If you're a patrician and you have not voted, you might tie this vote. Warzy, welcome back. If you're patrician, vote now. I'm gonna count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh my god, everybody voted and it's a tie. Oh my god. It's a coin flip. Let's see. Uprising or corruption? It's uprising, trying to raise the treasury. Morgrim, Steel, Zephyrus, Northwind, and Thrifty. The patricians plan to incite a peasant uprising to overthrow the king before swooping in to steal the throne for themselves. To advance their scheme, the patricians must raise the treasury to 2,000 or more in 2 seasons. There you go. And we have a distant cousin, a distant cousin, a distant, and a bastard offshoot. These are all related, and this is great. So these are all cousins, right? Like we were a cousin of the monarch too. So these are these cousins of the monarch? I don't know, of the previous monarch. And then we have a bastard offshoot of the previous. This is 2 generations back, right? Cool stuff. Crazy, yeah. Family tree is getting complicated. All right, let's go. It is golden choice for very obvious reasons. Yeah. Also, I really want to help you fund buildings. The real reason the monarch survived a Justin accident but dies in 15 years is because of nanomachines. Oh, before, yeah, that might. I like the idea that it's 2 generations before, right? Are there pirates? Oh fuck, there are pirates again. Oh my god, you're right. Fuck. Let's start with the south. Let's see what's going on in the south. Katori, your majesty, my peasants accuse me of hoarding wealth. Me! How much gold do you have, Katori? You're not too rich, not too poor. 1600. How is Katori doing in the funding category? Position number 6. Yeah, no, you're definitely not hoarding wealth. Worse, they're throwing down their tools and burning their belongings, saying they want to live an ascetic life and that I should do the same. What nonsense. Quite so, your highness. They don't want to be pinned down by worldly possessions, but burning them is quite the overreaction. Thank you, Katori. The ringleader of this movement is a philosopher called Ortega. She calls herself a voice for the 9th god, and the knaves hang on her every word. They'll be at my door at any moment. Fuck. So this is a cult. because of the vitamin shining quirks. Infiltration, you say? I like that his first reaction is fuck. I mean, because this is very relevant, right? Because we just had a religious reign. And we have a reputation here, so... I think we would be infiltrating, though. Yeah, let's do that. Perhaps Caesar Ortega followed Calimaco III more than the church? We'll see. That's a good point. Yeah, right? Immediately new Saints wannabe. Wait, what were you saying, Amy? The last Calimaco... Yeah, the last Calimaco compromised with people. That's true. That's true. But this is not the last Calimaco. We're probably going to be compromising too a little bit, but I don't think in the same way. This is decidedly A, so I'm going to continue. 19. Wow, yeah, that's a lot of votes. Let's go. Grandi Katori Blueberry II arranges for one of his few loyal servants to go along to Ortega's gathering as you hope to hear from them soon. Meanwhile, both rich and poor scramble to show off their devotion to the ninth god in the face of Ortega's surging popularity. Okay. Now let's get an honor guard. Shall we? Yeah. Good news, Your Majesty, I have received a vision. I saw you bathed in holy light, blades and missiles crumbling to dust before they could reach you. You do not need to recruit an honor guard. The ninth god will shield you from all harm. I've never seen the ninth protect someone from a sword through the chest. You need tangible guards, Your Majesty. Fuck. I await your verdict with bated breath, Your Majesty. I mean, High Inquisitor could be like, your parent is watching on you, you know? Yeah, fuck again. This is a rough start. If you do not heed the High Inquisitor's words, I will personally duel you. I will do it. You know, I'm not sure that's possible. There's a very codified way to duel. And nobles can duel nobles. Royals can duel royals. Peasants can duel peasants. But between the different classes, I'm not so sure. Yeah. Broken but fuck. That's what I'm thinking, kinda, exactly. King Caligula IV is surrounded by questionable ideas. Yeah, you gotta marry me if you want to duel me. So... I believe you can duel down if you want to, but it's more of an option and not a requirement. Yeah, okay, that could be, I could see that, yeah. Then nominate a noble as your champion, Your Majesty. I will not stand for a second count of heresy against this throne. Wow. Wow. But I don't think we'll need that. I don't think I need an honor guard. I don't think we'll need that. Your Majesty, I must protest in the strongest possible terms the nobles will consider this an insult to their warriors' prowess. And more importantly, without an honor guard, you are totally unprotected. Is your life worth so little to you? This might be a short reign. It might. It might. But I think that Calimaco IV wants to still use the image that has been left by his parent. Is it smart to do this when you have a limp? It's the idea. The thing is, it's not that Calimaco IV thinks that he can defend himself. He thinks he doesn't need to defend himself. You know? Good. Yeah. I think I'm willing to risk it. Like, this is a calculated move. Trying to get the church on his side. Yeah. I'm willing to risk it. Fine, no doubt the common folk will see this as a sign of strength. But don't blame me when you wind up in the wrong end of an assassin's blade. Alas, the king who trusts in the ninth. You have nothing to fear, Your Majesty. Your enemies' arrows shall miss, and their swords shall falter. Alright. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Amy. Alright. And now let's deal with the bullshit. With the real bullshit. Amy, hi. You must do something about the pirates that have been plaguing the coast's ocean trade routes. I lost a whole shipment of fine silks. Was it actually fine silks? Hi. And they killed the crew, of course, who won't be cheap to replace. Well. This is rough. This is rough. I don't want to be here. I went through a whole trauma arc. I mean... King Calimaco IV is of the opinion that we cannot pay the pirates to leave our ships alone. Because if we do, 1 year from now, they're gonna be back knocking at our door asking for more money, and we won't have solved any issue. It's also true that if we say that there's nothing to be done and we do nothing, the issue will not have disappeared. So it is a matter of waste some resources that we could spend to improve our navy just to gain some time. You know, let's try to gain some time by spending some money that we could spend to improve our military. Or do we just wait, allow them to do what they want, and try to improve our military in the meantime? I think we should not negotiate with pirates, but I don't think I should prevent the council from voting what they believe is the best option for the kingdom. So I will let you vote. Exactly. Do we buy time to build navy, or do we put that money straight into shipbuilding? Yeah, these are both bad options, so there's no good option here. There's nothing to be done. We should have the Pirate Queen come to the capital and duel the king. We've tried that already in the past. It hasn't worked. Simple Coffee, welcome back. Alright. It looks like most nobles don't want to negotiate, so we will go for that. Let's go. There's nothing to be done. Please do, Morgan. The patricians scowl behind their masks and retreat to their opium dens, where they no doubt wonder why they have a king in the first place. For the coming month, their trade routes are blighted with by escalating pirate raids. Still, what are you expected to do? Pirates are a natural risk of seafaring, like sharks or scurvy. Mega Corporal, welcome and thank you for joining. How are you doing? You are a patrician. Alright, y'all. Auction time. It is auction time. Glad you're doing good, and happy to have you here with us. You're joining a roleplay dynasty. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There should be a link pinned in chat. If there's not, please somebody throw it in chat for Mega Corporal to read all the info. This roleplay dynasty we're going to be playing for 3 months, roughly, so yeah. Alright, let's go. Auction time. We're down to 3, 2, 1. Boop. Exclamation mark fund, followed by the letter of the building you want to fund, followed by the amount of money you want to spend. Your options are raising trade for the barons with A, lowering stability with B, raising stability with C, lowering military for the grandees with D, raising farming for the patricians with E, lowering faith for the patricians with F. Keep in mind that if you spend money in this dynasty, you actually gain some prestige. You actually gain some renown. There is a list that we have where we compile, we extract data, there's 20 seconds left by the way, that tells us every time who are the biggest spenders, and the people who are the biggest spenders basically are highly renowned. 10 seconds left, and are taken in much higher consideration when deciding events. 5 seconds left, that see two nobles one against each other. Alright, so we got a library and a stadium, is that correct? Yes, it is a stadium for the arena fights. Thrifty, of course, thank you. And Marley, spending money for a library. Good stuff. Alright, Let's go. So we have one more stadium and one more library. The Pirate Queen. False idols. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Wait, what's that? Thank you for the follow, Mega Corporal. Again, glad to have you. Let's do finding a spouse first. Do you think it's still the same Pirate Queen? Let's see how the event goes, and based on how she behaves, I'm gonna tell you. Ask me again, ask me again. Your Majesty, it's important you find a spouse sooner rather than later. I'll take the liberty of finding eligible candidates. What is your preference, men, women, or do you not mind? I think... I like men. Yeah, let's go. Precisely. Precisely. I'm making a list. Yes. Thank you, Your Majesty. Let's take a look at the false idols. That philosopher Ortega is preaching that we can only be close to the ninth god if we reject our worldly possessions, which would be bad enough. But she's also performing miracles. My spy saw her heal a woman's broken arm with a single touch, cure an old man's blindness. She must be a witch. Whatever we might think, the peasants believe in her. More of them flock to her barn every day as rumors of miracles spread. So... well, definitely not this. Ortega's not just a healer. Ortega's not just a healer. I'm very tempted by Inquisitors, but the other one is acceptable too. Wouldn't sending the church at Ortega just make them a martyr? Ah, that's a good point. That is a good point. We could go with A, yeah. I've seen many Dr. One jousting. Let's show the common folk a true miracle. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. I would say, yeah, let's probably go with that. Yeah, right? If the church cannot perform a miracle with 30 faith, what good are they? But the Inquisitors are also very interesting, so... I think this is close. I'm gonna let the council choose. I'm really liking the votes today. They're really rough events, I think, for Calimaco the 4th. They're setting him up for a tough reign, but I think they're really interesting on a narrative standpoint. A is a true trial of faith. Yeah, right? I mean, both are true. The thing is, both are true trials of faith, depending on who you ask to. 13 to 9 if you have not voted. Vote now, 13 to 10. This is very close. I'm gonna be counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Yeah, let's see what good is the Reformed Church is, right? 80% chance the church should perform better miracles. And it's a success! Yes! Our parent watches above us. The Archbishop sends priests to a village long abandoned to drought. Townsfolk from neighboring lands eagerly follow the holy group. Once arrived, the priests rise in choral harmonies. Townspeople join in as rain begins to fall, refreshing the land and turning it green once more. This is our parent. Word quickly spreads all through the south that the church could do what Ortega could not. In the end, one of Ortega's own followers turns her into the church investigators. You expect her in the capital soon. Wow, okay. Okay. And now let's deal with this pirate bullshit. I can't do anything about pirates. Because they're not... they're non-believers. Mega Corporal, welcome. I need to cough, give me a second. Your Serene Highness, our pirates are more aggressive than ever. They follow a pirate queen who calls herself the Bloody Gull. She has established a stronghold on a tiny speck of land called Spiderheart Isle. According to our spies, she's growing every day in power and wealth. What are we to do? Only half of our trade vessels reach their destinations. Murder her? Put a bounty on her? Where is the jewel? Where is the dual option? Trade by land? Yeah, but how do we trade with the other continent? No, definitely not paying them. Would this Calimaco marry the pirate queen? Diplomacy may be an option if so. I don't know. So it's either C or D. And I think that this Calimaco doesn't want to broker peace, but rather wants to put a bounty on the Bloody Gull's head. And we're gonna be putting a bounty on with the golden choice too, right? Trying to convince nobles to do that. Basically, it's money to be given to people for spreading the message. Let's do that. Let us do that. I mean, Calimaco IV might consider a political marriage with somebody that he's not attracted to in the slightest, you know? Like a woman. But it would be a purely political marriage. There would be no air coming from that. Yeah, money works. Komori Kitsune, welcome back and thank you for joining. How you doing? So counting down from 5, 4, vote C to get some free money. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Oop, let's go. Put a bounty on her head. And it's a success! You post an impressive bounty on the Bloody Gull's head. And wait. And wait. A month later, someone arrives at the palace. A broken-nosed fellow in a stained coat. He's carrying a bloody burlap sack which he tramps onto your table. I solved your pirate problem. Weren't easy. Now give me the money. Check inside the sack. Yep, it's a woman's head. You're not sure what you expected. Ask your spy master to confirm the identity of the head in the sack. Reports from Spiderheart Isle are garbled, but it certainly seems that the pirate queen has been killed. I think our grubby friend is telling the truth. Okay. Okay. A 4-day weekend coming up. That is awesome, Komori. How did you do it? They call me Topcoat. What? What kind of a name is that? I was a pirate captain and a friend to the Bloody Gull once. That was before she started demanding I call her Your Highness. Telling me to bow and scrape and such. But there's no Queen of the Sea. So when I saw her bounty, your bounty, I thought I'd correct her of her delusions. And make a pretty penny doing it. Okay. We're going to do it. Give the man his money and send him on his way. We're true to our word, to our word, yes. Thank you kindly, Your Majesty. Oh wait, I thought this was lower into the treasury. God, I hadn't realized this was true up. Sorry. True thing, Amy, yeah. Top got the turncoat. In the wake of the Bloody Gull's death, the pirate attacks along the coast die down. The Ghost Sea is still full of danger, but the trade routes are safe once more. Hell yeah! Does anybody know? Does anybody know whether the pirates event keeps spawning until it is resolved, even across reigns? Huh. That's true. That's true, Amy. You're right. Hidden deep in the spider's web of alleys, crisscrossing Thalassus is an old tavern. Somewhere in its hazy backrooms are a number of patricians, all deep in their cups. It's not enough. The citizens couldn't care less about the king or his hoarded wealth. How are we supposed to incite an uprising in this climate? We should start by ensuring the king actually has some wealth to flaunt. A shame, the king seems determined to be destitute. Perhaps he's just really bad with money. The patrician's aim is to rim the treasury to 2,000 or more. It's not repeatable per game, which means it's just random that it spawned this time too. I think we're gonna go with the common tax, and that's all. We might consider one cruel tax, like one heavy tax for, like a one-time cruel tax to boost the kingdom's economy to everybody. But that would be with the permission. With the permission. Ah, I see. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Amy. I feel that I have enough to give at least. I wouldn't mind. You earned this one. I do grant permission to tax me highly. Let it never be said I am reluctant to offer my money. Look at how honorable you all are. Wait, what's that? A lot of chance of a chain delay on them that restrict how soon they can reappear, but this delay isn't set in the first event of the chain. Sprite can appear every day until you hit one of the ending events. Then it goes away for a while. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Cool stuff. Unless you have a specific plan in mind that requires funding, a cruel tax seems unnecessary and ill thought of. It's basically for... it would be an emergency stash. To have it ready, you know? To have it ready instead of having to scrape by the money when we get an emergency. I would appreciate if you did not tax us highly. Sorry. You may tax us. Take what you need, my liege. I'm playing Don't Tax Me. I have need of saving money for a large project. I apologize for my need of keeping my money for now. Kingdom costs more than a noble war chest in need for war. I see many nobles being in support of this motion, and I think I'm going to apologize to the nobles who are not agreeing. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. More room. I think I'm going to apologize to the nobles who are not agreeing on this, but I might do this for the best of the kingdom, with the promise that if the kingdom thrives, we will be giving it back. Clinking Cat, welcome and thank you so much for the raid. Hello, welcome, everybody. The cat's curiosity has brought us here, so we're here to have a blast. That's a good one. Welcome. I hope you don't blast me out of the palace. Glad to have you here. How you doing? All right. Apologies to the nobles who are against it. We will be giving it back if the kingdom ends up being prosper enough that we can do it. So if we get to like 5,000 or something, we're gonna be doing it. Basically, if you can give it back, and get roughly to this amount of money, we're gonna do it. Okay, let's do it. Thank you, dear council. Well, maybe. Arms shortage, finally. I don't know what's up with me. I might have to take... Wait, I need to get it thing. I had to get it a cough drop. Doing okay, explored a new area. What were you playing? Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my throat tonight. Sorry. A philosophical meeting. Let's do the arms shortage. That sounds very urgent. Your August Majesty, the situation in the coast is dire. Oh, Subnaughty guys, awesome! It's fantastic. Oh my god, yes. Unless you have thalassophobia. The patricians, I mean, the king's navy is in tatters. So few ships remain that I fear we lack the presence to patrol our trade routes. Shiny ports hello. Order of the Peacock, I trust that you will be able to do it. And if you don't, if the kingdom prospers, if you help the kingdom prosper, the kingdom will give you back the money. With interest. We must bolster our dwindling forces on the coast. Who knows what will happen to our people without protection? Probably pirates. Yeah, I think we need a navy. And I think I'm gonna be giving you your money back again immediately. There you go. The crown is gonna be personally paying traders from across the coast to build the new ships. Vote B to get some money. I'm gonna start the vote, and then I'm gonna go to the kitchen and get something for my throat. I don't know, some honey or something, because it's killing me. I'll see you in 1 minute. Oh my god! You've actually everybody voted for the same thing? Wow, okay. Golden choice money is basically the king allowing the nobles to tax their peasants extra. Is how I envision it. Alright, unanimity. Unanimity. There you go. You're welcome. Let's go. Everybody believes that the coast should have a military. Coast without ships is like a library without books. You said the coastal it's like a duelist without scars. You said coastal carpenters, wainwrights, and coopers to make sea vessels to replace those the patricians have lost. New shipbuilding jobs bring life to the coastal economy, and the patricians get the boats they always wanted for an absolute bargain. I did not get tea, and I did not get honey, because for once, honey is... we ran out of honey, apparently. You're very welcome. We'll see how my voice goes. I might have to just get the microphone real close and just talk very, very low. A philosophical meeting. Look at this. Look at this person here. Ortega arrives in your throne room. dressed in rags and flanked by the palace watch. She lifts her chin defiantly as she walks. Your Holiness, you wanted to see me? So you don't believe in owning things. Getting rid of what's unnecessary is how you move closer to the ninth god. He has given me the ability to heal, and so I must use it. How can you claim to have anything to do with the ninth god? He's a heretic, plain and simple. Run, Kuzam with a book. By the ninth, I'm no such thing. He's just afraid of whatever he doesn't understand. I think we should exile her. Yeah, I agree, Warzy. I agree. I think we should just exile exile her. You say have her executed? We can use her. Do we want to use her, though? I don't know. She's been very against everything we've said as a crown. Brave Sir Robert. You have absolutely zero money. Oh my god, Chiwadesu! Oh my god, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for the raid. Hello, hello, and welcome. I am having some issues with my throat, so I might not be as loud as I usually am, or as talkative. Hello, hello, and welcome. Thank you. I'm MrKaji, everybody. In case you don't know me, I am absolutely obsessed with King of the Castle, and playing it is everything, is all I do. This is all I do. This is all I do. Tonight we're playing episode 4 of the Bladesong Dynasty, which is our recurring role-playing dynasty. And we play every week, every Wednesday, at around 9:30, 10 p.m. Central European Time. What do you do? We're playing King of the Castle too. We're playing that. What we're doing here is basically I created a premise for this dynasty that is a little different than usual, than a normal King of the Castle game. And now we're role-playing on that. We have a very active community that writes a bunch of lore on our Discord and role-plays with each other on our Discord server. The link in chat that Vaspir just posted brings you straight to the background information that I wrote for this dynasty, just in case you want to take a look at it and you wanna read it and get into it, and if you wanna play. It's a primer, and yeah, we also have a world anvil that we're slowly filling in with the lore that you all lovely people write on our Discord. Welcome, welcome once again, and thank you so much, and thank you for the follow to Six Hot Savior, Susb, and Elfrijol. I don't know how to pronounce names. Lelkatlan, welcome back, and thank you so much for the sub. All right, take care and have a great night. Thank you so much. And think of a name for our baby, Lelkatlan. But how's everybody doing? From the raid, I see a bunch of names here. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Chiwadesu, how was your game? I'm assuming you were playing King of the Castle. I see Bork, so you probably were. Veldhomer, Ilyas, no? Stickham, Kane Slupus, Rastem, Hina the Weeb, Elfrijol, Lithalin, Tomo-chan, Hanimed, Psy, JCap, who else is here? Bork the Glorious King of the North, and also everything south of the North stands triumphant atop the corpses of his enemies. Oh, that sounds intense. That does sound intense. It was great. I won for once. Oh, you did! Freaking congrats! I'm glad you're having a good time with the game. I think it's incredibly fun. That's awesome. Couldn't go to sleep without saying hi here. Thank you, Localplane. Thank you so much. Oh, with the backing of the North. I see. So the North helped the Monarch get a win. For bastards who bold with no military, it didn't go well for them. It usually doesn't. The North had like 9 military, and their enemies had 1 military and 0 military. Yeah, that does not sound like a wise move to me. Not at all. Not at all. Congrats on the win! And thank you so much for bringing your nobles to my lovely kingdom. Once again, everybody, if you haven't already, go drop a follow to Chiwa Desu. We need more King of the Castle streamers. We need to support each other. Freaking do that now. Do it now. Alright. With that said, feel free to join, everybody. Generic2, thanks so much for the follow. Everybody who just arrived, feel free to join the game. We currently have about 40 nobles. And there's space for everybody in our council hall. It's pretty large. It's a good size. And yeah. It's been a while since we had a rebellion in the Dynasty game. I have no idea, Shiny Horse. I don't know. And thank you for joining, Generic2. You are now a patrician. And by the way, in this dynasty, for this dynasty, I designed some special rules for some competitions, basically. So, you know how barons have jousting, and grandees have dueling, and patricians have arena fighting? In this dynasty, in the background info, you may see that these 3 competitions are used as a sort of accessory justice system in the 3 regions, adjacent to the normal justice system of the kingdom. And nobles are supposed to solve issues among each other without having to ask the crown. And so I created some rules that are different for each of the 3 competitions that you can use on Discord to joust against each other, duel against each other, and fight in the arena against each other. So if you join a specific region, keep in mind that you're also going to be more involved. If you like, based on what region you end up in, you're going to be more involved with a specific type of competition on the Discord. So yeah, that's what we do around here. That's what we do. Right now, we were about to decide what to do with Ortega. This is a roleplay dynasty, as I mentioned. We're going to be playing this for about 3 months, so like 12, 13 episodes roughly. So you're jumping in quite early if you're joining today. And I invite you all to roleplay as well. You don't have to, but I think it's more fun that way. So, what do we do with Ortega? Our parent was a saint, so we are on the side of the 9th. I think he should be either exiled, preach in favor of the crown. I don't know. I don't know if we can trust her, you know? I have the feeling we might trust her. I think I might actually veto that. Yeah, and leave the choice between exile and execution. Yeah, let's do that. I don't think we trust her at all to have her preach in favor of the crown. So either we burn her or we send her away. What kind of kingdom are we, my dear nobles? How do we solve this? It's currently a complete tie. Always off with the head. I mean, if we don't trust her. Let's see. Oh, exile is winning now, 15 to 11. Yeah, sounds like Skyrim, right? 16 to 12, alright. 16 to 13. We are an indecisive kingdom. Yeah, it looks like it. 16 to 15. Oh my god, is this gonna be a tie for real? So 16 to 15 currently in favor of exile. I'm gonna be counting down from 5. If you have not voted, vote now. 17 to 15, counting down from 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, 17 to 15, and 0. I'm imagining a furious debate in the council halls. Me too. Have Ortega exiled from the kingdom. 1, 17 to 15. I will leave if you order me, your holiness. I'm not interested in a rebellion, but my followers won't like it. As she's dragged away, Ortega holds her head high. You have her shipped off to the lawless Isle of Sal, where she can't bother anyone in the kingdom again. Oh no. Oh no. She's going to side with the pirates now. Yeah, the votes have been really cool tonight. No room for heresy. Get out of our kingdom. New Pirate Queen Ortega, that would be the worst. Not Sahel of all places, yeah. Alright, let's get eligible options from Chancellor Oswin. I have found 3 potential matches for you. 1 eligible young man from each of the kingdom's 3 regions. Choose wisely, you'll be securing a powerful alliance. Yes, I know. Is this why the pirates have a kraken? Let's see the eligible bachelors. So, let's see. From the coast, we have Althis, the wealthy heir to Lord Patrician Sparse Corruption's estate. I mean, just look at him, he's gorgeous. And apparently he's got a silver tongue too. Okay. He's also obsessed with the arena. Okay. All his friends are gladiators and sometimes he even enters a fight himself. The common folk hate him for some reason, but who cares what they think? Well, I like the sound of him. From the south, Ignacio, the eldest son of the skeletal recognition lineage. He's reputed to have an ego the size of the sun, but there's nothing wrong with confidence, right? He is an obsessive gambler, a pastime frowned upon in the south. It's been the cause of some scandal. He's tried his hand at a number of ventures, though they all seem to end in disaster. JCap, thank you so much for the follow. Happy to have you with us tonight. I don't like the look of him. Gambling is a sin, after all. Wow, my son is shit. And finally, we have the Marsha's offering. Felix, scion of the prestigious Komori Kitsune bloodline. A typical baron, really loud and brash and self-absorbed, but mostly well-meaning. Like most of the barons, his great passion is hunting. Nobis is safe from his crossbow. Also got into a fight with his local bishop a couple of years back, gave him a bloody nose. I think we only have one choice. To be called obsessed with the arena in the Bladesong Dynasty scares me. That's a good point, Shiny Works. Felix seems cool, but... Fight with the bishop? Nah, we're on the side of the church. Meh. I think we have a clear winner. The rest of a high military though? What would I care for? Why would I care for that? We do roleplay here. We don't try to win. I don't try to win. I just roleplay as the monarch, and I invite you to do the same. It was one of the bishops who supported Lemongrave, my liege. Now that you reframe that. Hunting, fight with the local bishop. Oh. So it is Komori Kitsune and Sparse Corruption, right? Well. Yeah, Sparse Corruption. It was some time ago. But this, obsessed with the arena, come on. I think there's nothing wrong with my boy. I think it might be Altheus. Modest people, welcome back and thank you for joining. Yeah, I think it's Altheus. Yeah. The only non-potentially heretical option. Yeah, let's go. Excellent, I'll make the arrangements. Alright. Thank you, Alexa. Back at the derelict Thalassian Tavern, the patricians have met once again, only this time celebrations are in order. The workers are getting rowdy, and it's all thanks to us. Now that they know how much wealth the king's hiding, they're itching to get rid of him. Careful we don't get them too riled up, mind you. Or they'll start asking questions about our wealth as well. Yes, now it's time to incite some real chaos. Show them that King Calimaco IV is not only greedy, he's utterly incompetent too. For the next stage of their scheme, the patricians must lower stability to 4 or less in 4 seasons. Alright. I think I like the gamble. But yeah. I think I like the gamble. Furious followers in need for horses and the royal wedding. So I would say let's start with the royal wedding. Yeah, let's do the royal wedding first. Lag is not on my side, it's probably Twitch. Let's go. Your wedding to Altheus is naturally the talk of the kingdom. Nobles and peasants alike travel from across the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. It feels like you're the only one taking part. Instead, you're getting ready for the ceremony. Soon enough, you're standing in St. Bertrand's Cathedral with Altheus at your side. Do you think this man is your lawfully wedded husband? Of course I do. Then I pronounce you king and husband. After the wedding, of course, there is a feast, and after the feast, a dance. Your new husband Altheus laps up the attention, delivering a witty speech in which he flatters you outrageously. By the time you find yourself alone with Altheus, it's past midnight, and you've never felt more tired. A civil rule is good for the realm, of course it is. You danced so very beautifully. It was such a wonderful day, wasn't it? I have a limp. I don't like dancing. Wow, of all things, of all the things he could say, I think we should help the peasants requiring lower stability. Nope. Admit that your heart wasn't in it. Of all the things he could have said, Altheus. This shocks him at first, and then he smiles. Me neither. Still, I suppose it's the game we must play. Let's drop the act, shall we? With pleasure. But what shall we talk about? I'm so used to steering the conversation to save for others. I've forgotten how to let it run its natural course. Just tell me what you're most passionate about. I never feel as alive as I do during a good fight. Tell me a secret. Here's something. The commoners back home hate me. Yes, I know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Usually I just turn on the charm, and people fall in love with me. Okay. And now we are playing them. I was so nervous about today. Me too, not that I let myself show it. From there, the conversation flows like fine wine. You pass a bottle back and forth, laying bare your deepest fears and hopes. At night's end, you join your husband in bed, feeling for the first time that you've glimpsed his real feelings. We're off to a good start here. Owl, thank you so much for joining. Here you are, you're Patrician. What up? Let's get to the serious stuff now. Furious followers. And thank you for the follow to Owl. Happy to have you. Love wins, now throw him to the lions. God, we've had some really rough relationships in our dynasties. Do you remember the can I kill you? Can I kill him? Things are good. How's the stream been? Awesome, glad to hear you're doing good. The stream has been fantastic so far. You know, these long dynasty games are always incredibly entertaining. I love creating a story out of the different events that come up and creating a continuity, right? So keeping into account, keeping in consideration events that happened in the previous reigns and having them inform what happens in the current game. It's a great mental gymnastics, and I love lore building and world building, so these are always incredibly fun. Thank you for asking. Maito, welcome. Welcome. Your Highness, the troublesome philosopher Ortega is gone, but her followers are marching on our estates, demanding justice. It's the same in the marsh. They're making her into a martyr. Okay. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Well, my friends, there's only one good option here. There's only one good option. Yeah, that's true, Amy. Yeah, the church is our savior, right? We believe in the church helps us, the church is our tool. And we're gonna give money both to the church and to the nobles to ask the church to help us in the most peaceful way. We don't need this kind of thing. Wow, Alexa really hates commoners. This feels so unusual, right? I don't think it's gonna last for long, if I'm gonna be honest. It makes sense that there would be still an attention to faith this reign, but I don't think it's gonna last, knowing how the game goes. Yeah, everybody wants money, and then Alexa comes by and it's like, fuck the peasants, kill them all. Alright, I'm gonna be counting down from 5. Vote B to get some free money, counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Boop. More faithful than Aquila, probably because there are not that many competitors, right? There's no chiefs, there's no counts, so it makes sense. The Archbishop gives many passionate sermons preaching peace and unity for all. It's not long before the followers realize that worldly possessions are actually pretty useful, and Ortega's name fades into obscurity. The fact that the Archbishop preached, and the lesson that the common folk learn is worldly possessions are actually pretty useful, makes me think that the Archbishop did some sermons on the on how useful, on the usefulness of hats. Good job, Silverius. Yeah, Silverius is doing good. In need for horses. Oceanus Ver, of course the knights. My liege, I've been thinking. Martial soldiers are without peer, but our armies could always be stronger. I don't know why this portrait is showing. Yeah, exactly, Shining Words. What we really need are better horses, but the best don't come cheap. Thank you, Miss Ray. Oh, the great spoon shortage, yeah. Oh, it's Aloich Foget, that's what you mean. Ah, awesome, okay. Can we aim for farming or trade next? Prefer with farming to be the next high stat? I don't know. I usually go by... I create a character and then I go for the... I pick the ambition after that. Yeah. The Ashmedan have a surplus of destroyers at the moment. Horsebred for war. Perhaps the crown could go halves with the barons to acquire some. For the good of the kingdom, of course. So... that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Also, I'm remembering Bobo's land from the last time I was here. Hasn't been mentioned since King Bobo named it after himself. This is a different dynasty, though. This is a different dynasty. But we kept joking about King Bobo's land, about Bobo's land for the whole of that stream. So I think the king would probably go for B here. I encourage the barons to be autonomous because this is just too much. This is too much cost. This is too high of a cost. Yeah, this doesn't look like an emergency. And I'm actually gonna say we're going to bet on this, trying to get the treasury higher. So if the nobles vote for B, they actually help the treasury too, which means that if that happens 1 or 2 more times, there might be a bribe, basically. Like the money could go back to the nobles. Let's go. Let's go. Let's vote. So also keep that in mind while you vote. A promise is a promise, is a promise is a promise, so... So this is 3,200. If it wins, with another tax we get to 3,500. Yeah, we need to get this one or two more times and then we're good to give it back. Alright. It's gonna be B. Appreciate that, Alexa. Let's go. Monarchy has progress from bribes to get nobles to vote to promising the potential of future bribes to get them to vote. That's how it is. That's how it is. The barons... Oh my god, it's a success! The barons get to work learning everything they can about horse husbandry and the best breeding techniques. Hopefully you will see positive results by the next fall in season. I know it's a lot of money, but I believe that the time saved makes it worth it. After all, it would take years to breed our own breed of horses. But, look at that. And I think it says a lot about Calimaco. That we're all going for it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Amidst dark and foreboding forests, the small squat castle sends watch over the Marcher border. There, at the end of the kingdom, a plot is hatching. Great news from the field. Not only have we sabotaged the other region's armies, we've salvaged a few defectors for our own forces. We're stronger than ever. Huzzah! What a coup! I've drafted the reform proposals as planned. The council will be more than happy to follow our lead. Good, but we must ensure they don't get skittish. The kingdom must be stable for our proposal to work. Grand, a calm before the storm. For the next stage of the Baron scheme, they must raise stability to 5 or more in 2 seasons. There you go. In the south, beneath the scorching sun, Grandy Mark strolls through his vineyard, in the company of few close friends. Our plans are going better than expected. The Spymaster thinks that all is well in the kingdom. Thanks to our lack of attention, I have amended the wording of the oaths our soldiers swear when joining up. Now they proclaim their loyalty to the Ninth God rather than the king. You are such a piece of shit, Darth Van Doom. Things are proceeding better than I ever imagined. Our next step is to replace the Palace Watch with our own agents. Should be easy enough. If the king can't pay them, the watch will look for money elsewhere. For the next stage of their scheme, the Grandies must lower the treasury to 1,500 or less in 2 seasons. Alright. Everybody's on stage 2. Devious. The Call of the Arena. A new book? And a rogue... Oh my god, that rogue golem went a long way. That rogue golem... I would love if somebody could please calculate how much this is. Like, how distant this is. If anybody ever wants to do that. It came out of the ocean? No. It was digging a furrow. It was digging a furrow. A rogue golem up here. So, let's do the Call of the Arena first. There's a trench going from the border to that point. Call of the Arena. Let's go. It's pretty long, right? Ah, Calimaco, I have something I need to discuss with you. Curved blade? Anybody? I've been honing my combat skills in the practice yard, but I long to experience the real thing. The arena is my hometown. In my hometown, it's looking for volunteers. May I heed the call? Who would you be fighting? Mostly wild animals like bulls or lions. That's not reassuring. But if I impress, who knows? Maybe I'd get to fight an arena legend like the Adder or Harayo the Bulwark. Not to worry, fights against gladiators are only the first blood, of course. As long as you'll be careful. Just keep me out of it. No, this sounds disinterested. I don't want to sound like that. Excellent. Look for me in the fur loincloth. I'll be wearing your colors, of course. Well, thank you. The day of Althea's fight comes quickly. You watch from your booth and he looks... pretty attractive. All that fighting in the yard wasn't for nothing after all. Altheus does well in his first bout, dispatching a wild boar with only a trident. But it's his fight against the lion that everyone's waiting for. Over 2,000 kilometers! I would say the colors are probably the purple and these two, you know, or something. A lion clawing a trident, because that's what he likes. And we're not judging. Of course we're gonna cheer him on. No! The fight goes poorly. Altheus takes a number of nasty hits before eventually calling the signal for surrender. The lion is put down by a number of archers from up in the stands. Word of the embarrassing fight spreads far and wide, causing a dip in the King Consort's credibility, and by extension, yours. Wow. But it can happen. It can happen. I think that what Calimaco IV would do here would be to point back to Calimaco II, you know, his great predecessor, actually, who in the first years also lost some fights, especially against beasts, exactly, but then ended up being a very renowned arena fighter. Right, like if you remember, if you've read what Astral, if you've read what Astral wrote in the Dynasty roleplay, you're gonna see that Calimaco II, lost some arena fights. So, yeah, but ended up being a very successful monarch. So, yeah, well fought. Let's take a look at a new book. The Archbishop walks into your office and places a bottle of wine on your desk. Your Majesty, a monk in the south by the name of Gildefrith, oh my god, has been writing a history of the kingdom. His assessment of your predecessor on the throne is full of praise. Since you're monarch Calimaco III's direct heir, this makes you look good too. So no downsides? No downsides. I'll leave you to enjoy your wine, your Majesty. Oh my god! Right, I forgot about this. Of course, Astral. I told you, like, I try to keep in mind what y'all have been writing. So, First Blood wine, for sure. For sure, it is a First Blood wine. Do you want me to create a song for your husband's arena fight, or was it Calimaco fought in the arena? It's for the husband, but you know, there's no need to get a song about that. Turns out Calimaco III was indeed nearly divine and all. Exactly, right? Portray me as a living god. There you go. You're a saint. Yeah, right. Silverius really turned a leaf. You're right. First Blood wine from the... First Blood wine is from Calimaco I. Calimaco I did that. Yeah, Calimaco IV's reign has been dominated by the legacy of Calimaco III, the Holy. They simply make all their decisions based on their saintly predecessor, and it just keeps working. It's blessed. You could call it blessed. A rogue golem has crossed into our territory over the Ashmeaden border, Your Majesty. This could be an exciting opportunity. Why did you cross over here? It was instructed to dig a trench, but evidently not told when to stop. It had dug a 2,000 no, wait, what, how much would that be? It had dug a 600-mile furrow through the... a 1,600-mile furrow through the landscape and over the border by the time we stopped it. Please, my liege, this is our chance to figure out how this golem magic works. We could even turn it against Ashmead. Your Majesty, the barons would drown their own grandmothers to gain an advantage over Ashmead, or over the patricians and grandees. Golems are an offense to the ninth god, and they're dangerous. We should destroy it before it gets out of control. Huh. Huh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sainted Foundations came out. Ah, this is tough. Grey Moon, the Wizards of Maps. I need the thing in the mines. The Ninth God will protect us if we break it apart. We don't need this. Right? Kitty Cathy, welcome back. Yeah, we've already got horses. Are golems truly necessary? Yeah. I think it's either destroy it. I mean, I think that the only one that I'm opposed to is to take it apart and figure out its secrets. I think we might just as well destroy it, but if enough nobles want one of the other two, I'm fine with it. So I think I'm just going to... Like, this sounds like too much involvement. It's a singular golem, so I think it's either going to be used as a source of labor for the benefit of everybody, or added to the martial army. One is alright. It's like a siege engine, basically, right? Destroy it is what I would go for, though, so... But I'll let y'all choose! I think the council can make the decision here, and I'll trust your judgment. Sharing is caring. Alright, looks like it's going to be used as a source of labor. 10 to 7. 10 to 7 to 7. If you have an opinion and you have not voted, this is the time to vote. Do it now. I'm going to be counting down from 5, 4, 11 to 7, 3, 11 to 8, 2, 1, and 0. 11 to 8, A wins. Use it as a source of labor. Catch your idea. We'll hook it up to a meal. Tell it to keep cranking a handle and hey, presto, endless bread. It works out! 50% chance we win that! Oh my god! It works out exactly as described. The golem works tirelessly, grounding flour, day and night. The barons are not heretics with 9 faith, come on. Oh my god. We're slaying. We are absolutely slaying this game. Yeah. Alright. Let's start the auction. Exclamation mark fund followed by the letter of the building you want to fund, followed by the amount of money you want to spend. Your options are raising faith for the barons with the cathedral by voting A, raising stability with the library by voting B, raising farming for the grandees with an aqueduct by voting C, lowering military for the grandees with a stadium by voting D, lowering farming for the patricians with a deer park by voting E, and lowering stability for the with a prison by voting F. I'm going to let you know when there's 20 seconds left, then 10, then 5, and it's going to be up to you to spend your money. If you spend your money, by the way, you become more important. 20 seconds left, 10 seconds left. In a little bit, I'm posting it in chat right now, so we have 10 seconds left now, which might not be when you see it on screen. 5 seconds left now. Kitty, I won't have time to do it to show you now, but Kitty, you have 0 money and a stadium sponsored by Trash and others, and a cathedral sponsored by Simple Coffee, who brings faith back, are the 2 things that win. Oh my god, good job. Yeah, you saved the March from Heresy. Astral, you have 3,000 gold. Alright. Cool stuff. Cathedral and a stadium. That's great. Arena's very popular right now, it looks like. Alright. So, about your heir. Your marriage to Althea has grown strong and steady like an old castle wall. Though it began as a political arrangement, it's blossomed into something like love. It's high time you thought about an heir. Congrats are in order. The real wedding was magnificent affair, but you need an heir. So, do you want to have a child together? Or do we want to adopt our youngest cousin like our parent did? I think it might be youngest cousin, you know? It's worked so far. Alright? As your father-in-law, I recommend a natural one. Biological child. We live in a time of magic? What does that have to do with that? Like, I was an adopted cousin, and I'm doing just fine, so... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? Following the parents' example to the end. The one thing that's holding me from having a child together is the idea of following the parents' example until the end, like Lurk said, you know? Oh, you're consider yourself dead, Swede. Cousin would be a fine heir. It's part of the legacy. Looking for is that two men having biological children is perfectly feasible in our world, let alone one with actual wizards. Oh yeah, no, that's not what is holding me. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Lowborn? Who cares about lowborns? Reach out on funeral arrangements. Yeah, do that. Can I go with the fourth? I would say... it's youngest cousin, you know? I think it's the youngest cousin, yeah. Of course, an entirely sensible idea. I will make the arrangement at once. Yeah, I think we do that. We follow our parents' example. Then... modernization proposals. Your Highness, the Barons of the March plan to have the Council push through a number of military reforms. For the good of the kingdom, they say, but the reforms are designed to reconsolidate marcher control over our ranks. What can I do? The Barons are waiting for a period of stability that will allow them to pass the necessary amendments while everyone's guard is down. Unless there are some drastic developments within the next few months, I predict that the Barons will be proposing these military reforms very soon. You bring the revelation which the Barons wholeheartedly deny to the Council. Alright. So... yes, this sounds super smart. Stall the military reforms with a host of legal quibbles. Yeah, that sounds lovely. And I'm gonna spend money on this. I don't care. I'm gonna say, yeah, get the money. Do it. Get the money. I think the country looks like France and Spain put together, so the distance is from Seville, Spain, to Strasbourg, France. 2,000 plus kilometers. Wow, okay. Modest people, thank you so much for checking. That sounds very reasonable, right? Because it's like Seville is on the western edge and Strasbourg is on the eastern edge of France. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's true, Trash. Yeah. So what happened here? Stall the military reforms. Let's go. To call upon the best legal scholars in the kingdom, your Chancellor digs... you call upon the best legal scholars in the kingdom. Your Chancellor digs deep into the dusty records to find any laws that might be your advantage. The Barons will no doubt push past each obstacle with enough effort, bribery, and coercion, but the Council has at least bought you time. The Barons' set goal will not be evaluated until the end of the next season. Alright, I'm gonna be doing this event, and then I'm gonna be taking a 2-minute, 3-minute restroom break to use the restroom, fill up my water bottle, and so on and so forth. AI Soothsayer, Your Majesty, we in the March have finished a complete reorganization of our new army. It truly is a powerful beast now. I'm hoping you don't get in a parade. Oh, I'm sure we can see to that. Moreover, I was hoping the Crown might be willing to host some military exercises. The soldiers are restless. Can you define exercises for me? We just need a suitable campaign to whet our swords and spears. An unbloodied army isn't worth its salt, I say. Let's see what the council thinks. Look at this! Do you remember the previous treasurer? Do you remember the previous treasurer? Well, we have a new one now. Treasurer Cerise. Yeah, the previous one, we fired her. She wasn't good enough. Oh, no worries, Astral. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you had a good time. Take care and have a sweet, sweet night. Yeah, fired. Ripped the knees. Completely different treasure. Exactly the same. Oh, it's in the clothing must be the same, you know, the uniform, and then the hair has to be in the same position, so that's it. A holy war? Who's starting a holy war? If there are people on Discord starting a holy war and you don't think it fits, feel free to ignore them. Exactly, it's the official garb. Instead of a costly war, Your Highness, we could establish mercenary companies that fight abroad and take a healthy cut of the profits. Or if Your Majesty wishes to gain something more than gold, we should use our might as intended and make inroads into Tavalin, whose meager army will surely be no match. So what are the options here? Well, this doesn't do great. This doesn't sound great. Is it just the mercenaries? Because they're cool? I mean, we don't have great military now that I think about it, yeah. Establish mercenary companies loyal to the barons. I think I'm going to push for that. Oh, and by the way, if we get both this and the Royal Gamble, next tax season, which is this tax season, I can give you back the money. Immediately. Look at that. So, yeah, I think we're gonna push to establish mercenary companies loyal to the barons. We wouldn't want war. We don't care for war. But Ashbid, there will be a time, but I don't think today is that day. I don't think today is that day. I don't think the kingdom needs a war. This kingdom is not really a warlike kingdom if you think about it. Like, we care much more about personal disputes and not war at all. The kickback king. But yeah, like we're not really in for a war here. We're trying to look at internal stability and prosperity. I don't know that I agree, Amy. Wow, it's super close. 11 to 12 now. The war is actually winning. So if you have not voted, cast your opinion on this vote because it's incredibly important. It's currently a tie between a war or not. 12 to 13. Currently, the war is winning. So a tie once again. This is very, 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 very close. I'm going to be counting down from 5. 14 to 13. The mercenary is winning right now. Counting down from 5. 4. 3, 2, 1, and 0. Final vote is 14 to 13. Okay. You give royal assent to the creation of a new mercenary companies, owned by the barons of the March. These companies fight in Ashmead and other lands where wars are plentiful. Everyone's satisfied. The barons get their exercise and you get a portion of the blood money. It's great. That is fantastic. Meanwhile, in the south, Grandy Mark has invited his closest associates to his manor house for some wine, and she's in treason. The Palace Watch won't accept our bribes. The treasury is practically overflowing. They don't need our money. And I suppose they ran straight to the spy master to spoil the plot too. Most unfortunate. Is this the end? Even Saint Jovine waited 60 days and 60 nights before she smote the blasphemer king. We'll bide our time and strike again when the king least expects it. Grandy's set goal is to lower treasury to 1500 or less. Tycho, welcome and thank you for joining. How are you doing? So I think at this point, yeah, we go back to a reasonable amount of money. So as promised, here is a bribe for everybody. Right? That's what we do. There you go. Gave it back with interest. Told you. You can trust Calimacos. So what do we have? We have Sanctuary, Undercutting, and Winter Chill. You know, I came out of nowhere and have filled almost everything I've done so far. That's great. You got many style points though. Alright, before we continue on this, I'm going to be taking a 2-minute break. 3-minute break, let's say. To use the restroom and refill my water bottle. Oh, that's awesome, Tycho. Hell yeah. Congrats. This is my grade for research paper, which was an 8. Now I can go to internship next year. Big applause, man. Alright, I'm gonna be stepping away for about 3 minutes. I'm gonna be running some ads in the meantime, so we get rid of pre-rolls, mid-rolls, and everything. Use this opportunity to grab a snack, grab a drink, use it to the restroom yourself. I'll see you in 3 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hello, hello, hello. So, what do we do here? What do we have? We have Winter Chill, Sanctuary, and Undercutting. Let's take a look at the winter. Alright, let's take a look at the winter first. Simple Coffee, hello. The martial winter has been especially cruel this year, Your Highness. I can still feel it in my bones. We can add more logs to the fire. It's not just about me. In the marsh, the river's frozen and people won't work for fear of frostbite. My butler touched an iron fence post and lost his entire finger. A sounds a little intense, especially now that we've spent all that money. But we might do it. I think it's either A or C. You know? Or Monkey, welcome back. Happy to see you. I think it's a northern march. You know what? Yeah, I'm thinking of doing this. I think we need to be responsible and help the regions. Yep, I'm okay spending some money to help one of the regions. Let's do that. Let's do that. I think it's a king's responsibility to step in these kind of situations, right? Unlike what it's going to be in in one of the other events that I don't remember the name of right now, that we have on the map. These region-wide events, it is the king's responsibility to step in and help. Yeah, it would only seem right. Alright, it's pretty clearly A, except for some patricians who don't care. Let's go. Send food! The treasurer arranges for huge wagons of grain, fruit, vegetables, and meat to be sent to the march. As they roll in, peasants cheer weakly before hurrying back into their houses to shelter from the wind. Along with the food is extra seed for the coming spring. The martial farmlands should be in better shape next year, barring any unforeseen accidents. Alright. Oh, Undercutting it is. And Sanctuary too. Like, these two are gonna be interesting. Let's do Undercutting first. Lurks, hello. I wanted to speak to you today about a delicate matter, Your Most August Majesty. It concerned the linen trade. You might have to explain... Oh no, actually, Calimaco IV would know. Ah yes, I'm very familiar with it. Then you will understand our position. You see, there's a lot of linen farms in the south. The plants thrive there, and the Grandees have taken advantage of it. The Baron's domestic farms aren't nearly as numerous, but they need clothes just like the rest of us. And linen, well, it's cheap, strong, and easy to weave. What more could they want? Traditionally, we patricians have facilitated this trade, making sure that a fair deal was reached on both sides. And now the Barons buy from the Grandees directly. They're cutting us out of the deal. You can't let them get away with it. Sounds like clever business to me. Your Serene Highness, please, just call a council vote, will you? Very well then. My eternal thanks, Your August Majesty. So we can force the barons to continue buying linen through the patricians. We can allow the free market to sort this one out. We can bring the linen trade under the authority of the king rather than the patricians. Doesn't sound so bad. Right? Doesn't sound so bad. Yeah, you know, exactly. You know what? Let the king have it. He's been responsible with money. Yeah, let's do that. And to compensate for the little loss for the patricians, there you go. We're gonna be compensating. Yeah, let's go. Let's do that. Yeah. I mean, keep in mind that according to the lore, the background info, Bomb viewer, this is where you're wrong. This is absolutely where you're wrong. If you have read the background info, it's very clearly specified. I really clearly wanted to specify this, that the nobles are expected to solve issues among each other, between each other, but if an event comes up where two nobles or two regions are against each other, it means that they have not found. It doesn't mean that the crown is intervening in an unwanted way. It means rather that the two parties have not found a way to settle it, be it through a duel, a joust, an arena fight, or whatever, and had to mutually decide to agree to ask the crown to solve the issue because they weren't able to find an agreement. So this is actually a little bit of a shameful situation for the people who asked for the crown's help. And now I'm gonna count down from 5. Vote C to get some free money. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Yeah, I very clearly spelled it out in the background info. You can look it up. It's on the Discord and it's on the world level, and you're gonna find exactly what I just said. This doesn't help us at all, Your Majesty. You're just cutting us out. I'd rather have the king monitor our trade than have your slimy mates all over it again. All you ever did was skim off our profits. Why, you ungrateful ragamuffin? I'll... If the palace watch step in before anything gets too rowdy, noble patrician lurks, backs down without a fight. The patricians suffer as a result of the council's decision. The grandees too will have to pay more than they had been, but you make a good profit. What will the linen be called? Holy sheets? Holy sheet? Probably. It might be holy sheet. Why have you done this to me? Monarch authority drops by 2. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all voted for this? It's the holy sheet. There you go. Yeah. We'll have the Pope wear the holy sheets. You asked for it. You asked for it. Thank you, Mystery. Now let's take a look at Sanctuary. Your Highness, there is a problem at the cathedral that was recently built in the marsh. A dangerous outlaw by the name of Who Can't Danny was fleeing from the sheriff and a peasant militia. After a decade-long crime spree, we were finally on the verge of catching him. But just before he's caught, he dives into the cathedral and proclaims sanctuary. According to the law, we can't arrest him on holy ground. The audacity of Who Can't Danny to invoke holiness. Sorry for that. Sorry for that mystery. How did he get that nickname? By my honor, my liege, do I need to spell it out? The man has a hook for a hand. Where his hand should be, there's a hook. Hook hand! That was pretty straightforward, yeah. I'm sure the church will look the other way in this case. We absolutely will not. The law of sanctuary is almost as old as the kingdom itself. As long as he remains on holy ground, this Danny is a child of the ninth under the protection of his mercy. I will not allow you to violate that, no matter the nature of this man's crimes. Great God, right now, Hook and Danny is living the high life. Priests are feeding him roast dinners and fluffing his pillows. Okay. Well, I feel sanctuary is a secret tradition. Alright. I'm definitely going to veto B. I mean, sanctuary is a sacred tradition. No, we're not gonna repeal it. What the fuck? You are decently. You are right. Wait, let me see where you are, Tialis. You're right. You're in position number 9. Repealing it entirely sounds entirely unreasonable. But C would be on the table. You're right. Y'all, we have not opened up the vote yet. Don't vote. What are you doing? Pay attention. Yes, you are not dead, Swede. You are not dead. I think the king would lean towards sanctuary being sacred. Because, you know, the law of sanctuary is more prestigious than Tialis, than the Tialis lineage, I would say. But if the nobles want to do that, then we'll see how that goes. I see. Trash. I don't really see the vote as the law as getting in the way right now. (11 to 11). This is very. We were having some very close votes tonight. 13 to 13. This is another close tie. 14 to 13. 15 to 13. All right, I'm going to count down from 5. If you have not voted, vote now, because you might overturn this. Counting down from 5, 4, 15 to 14, 3, 2, 1, and 0. It's a tie. It is a tie, no fucking way. This abuse of sanctuary is arguably a graver sin than breaking it. Is it an abuse, though? Right? Is it an abuse? Yeah, they're all running into churches that's basically jail with extra steps, right? Like, you know, I'm thinking of The Betrothed. This is a very famous Italian novel, right? Yeah, exactly what Morgrim is saying. Like, let me tell you a story here. So there is this very famous Italian novel. It's from the 1800s, and it tells the story of It tells a story of the 1600s in Milan, basically around Milan, in Bergamo, around Lake Como. And one of the characters in there is this monk. All right. And this monk is a weird monk, very, very fiery in character. And at some point in the book, you find out that this monk actually used to be a nobleman who dueled another nobleman and killed him. But the other family didn't think that was a lawful duel, so this is incredibly relevant to Bladesong. And so they tried to get vengeance and ran after him in the streets. So, to save his life, he jumped into a monastery, basically, and asked for the law of sanctuary, basically. He used the law of sanctuary to be saved. And basically this situation happened where the family, who was a very powerful family, demanded that the guy come out, and the priests were like, we cannot do that. We cannot kick him out. This is basically like a prison for him, so he's gonna be in here his whole life. We cannot kick him out. So consider that his punishment is being in here his whole life. If this is a reference to it, I doubt that the devs know that novel is very famous in Italy because it's one of the very first novels in standard Italian language. But I don't think it's very known outside of Italy. But yeah, basically the same situation happens, and the guy eventually becomes a monk as a sort of compromise. Like, he's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to give up my noble title, everything, as a punishment, as a sort of punishment, and that's going to be the compromise that we strike, so you don't want to have vengeance from me. There's not going to be a coin flip. Sanctuary is sacred, and must not be questioned. Well, take care. Take care, Howitzer. There's not going to be a coin flip. Good night. Great God, this council can't see beyond their own noses. Hook and Danny is never brought to justice. He lives out the rest of his days in the cathedral, eating fine dinners and enjoying the communal wine. He is effectively imprisoned, and his crime spree is over, but the common folk lose faith in the king's justice. Exactly. Basically, it might not be jail, but it has the same effect, binding him to the place. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Precisely. It's kind of a bit of a better jail. But it's still jail. Like, he's not, if you set food, like, and like in that novel, the noble family actually set guards outside of the monastery, so that if the guy ever set foot outside, they would just kill him instantly. And I assume that this happens here too. After several rounds of deliberations, the council approves wide-ranging reforms to the kingdom's standing armies. The barons are the major contributors to this new model army, having volunteered their expertise and manpower in these trying times. Their newfound authority brings riches to the March merchants seeking to sell arms, mercenaries seeking employment, and even young peasants looking to defend their kingdom. Meanwhile, in the foreboding March of Fortress, the barons are celebrating. It's a cool story, right? It's actually a really good book. I would recommend, if you like historical books, you know, like stuff yeah, like the history novels, basically. If you like that kind of stuff, it's a really good book. It's really good. I love it. I should actually reread it. I read it like 2 times, and I should pick it up again. Meanwhile, in a foreboding March of Fortress, the barons are celebrating. Ha! I can hardly believe they went for it. This is all well and good, but we have not won yet. We must make our final preparations before we take control. Barons of the March, what do you want to do to end it? To finish King Calimaco IV? Do you want to march on the capital with the full strength of the new model army, trying to raise military? Or do you want to quietly force the king to abdicate, trying to lower authority? What do you want to do? And if you can read Italian? No, I'm sure it's been translated. Count of Monte Cristo? Yeah, no, very different. So that's what I choose. I appreciate that, Warzy. That's also a very good way to look at it, Tialis. I think it's the English version is called The Betrothed. Let me see. I Promessi Sposi would be The Betrothed from Alessandro Manzoni. Yeah, The Betrothed. The Betrothed from Manzoni Alessandro. I can write it in chat if you want. The Betrothed Alessandro Manzoni. It's a really good book. All right. All right, let's go. A1. Any Calimaco would refuse to quietly abdicate? For sure, yeah. Let's go. Then it's settled. We have a plan of attack, but one last thing remains. Defense. For our final march on the capital, we'll need a sizable home garrison to repel opportunistic attacks from other regions. For the final stage of their scheme, the barons must raise their military to at least 8. Alright. Back in the coast, Lord Patrician F.R. Balvizar has met with his co-conspirators once again. Wine is being passed around in good measure, but there seems to be little cause for celebration. It's no good, the citizens are losing momentum. If we don't keep up the pressure, they'll go back to living their normal lives in peace. Bah! Lazy good-for-nothings. Can't even get off their backsides for one measly revolt. We have to keep them unhappy. Don't allow the king time to stabilize. The patrician's goal is to lower the kingdom's stability to 4 or less. Oh, it is translated to German. Hell yeah! How is it in German? Chapter 3 is a little bit of you know, it's a little hard to read. Because there is a bit about lawyers that's a little bit slow. But if you can get past that hump, it's really good. Like, that's the only chapter that is a little lacking, in my opinion. And it talks of like church politics, but in a very interesting way, with very strong and interesting characters. It talks about bandits and banditry and their relationship to the church in the 1600s. It talks about the plague, the Black Plague that devastated Milan and northern Italy in those years. It talks about the Spanish occupation of northern Italy. It's really cool. I get super excited. I love history. Yeah, Promessi Sposi, exactly. Yeah. I didn't get you were talking about Promessi Sposi. I thought you were talking about a book all about a single story. No. Yeah, Fra Cristoforo. You're Italian. Are you Italian, Siberius? I swear Steel's going to have another little conniption fit of the game, making this novel act every... Oh, yeah. I think I like the laws we have. Okay, you're Italian then, yeah. Oh, it's been around for a while. Cutting remarks? What is this? And falling season. Let's get the falling season. Oh shit. I think the march is gonna get some military, y'all. I think it's super interesting. Like, Fra Cristoforo is a really interesting character. Wait, Oshena's Ver, are you Italian too? And I didn't know. Are you Italian too? Great news! The new foals have come in, and our horse breeding program has proven successful. They're stronger than ever. Oh, I didn't know. That's cool. That's cool. Of course, they'll take a few years to reach maturity, but my fellow barons are very optimistic. A new generation of mighty war horses await. Fuck. Oh, you're friends. I see. Okay. Cool stuff. We're literally in voice chat right now. Awesome. I love that. And what about the rest of us? Giving the barons a monopoly on war horses is irresponsible, I say. You can't trust them. Okay. Okay. So. I would say A, right? Yeah. No, I would say A. Absolutely. Now, free horses sounds a little bit intense. They did all the work. They deserve at least a fair price, right? We should at least rob their horses. Nah, we do roleplay here. And I think the monarch is going to encourage that solution with a little stipend here. Let's do it. I'm gonna give you some money. to allow patricians and grandees to buy the horses for a fair price. I'm gonna break ranks here if others agree. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, fine. I mean, it's only right. The barons did all the work. They deserve some compensation. Like, I don't know that they're about to win. I don't know. You're all going to the 7 health? What do you mean, Darth Von Doom? What? Where is that coming from? Alright. We're gonna be counting down from 5, 4, vote for you to get free money, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Alright, let's go. Fine, as long as we're properly compensated. Gold changes hands and the barons send some of their new foals to the patricians and grandees. Everybody wins. See? We're doing a great job here. And now, cutting remarks. What is this? What? War monkey. Your August Majesty, I'm fed up with the... Oh, right, the actual literal trash. The guillotine. Your August Majesty, I'm fed up with this new actual literal trash contraption. Everyone's using it. Nobles, commoners, priests, they all get their heads chopped off in the bloody actual literal trash. It's very opportune that you came back tonight, trash. Whatever happened to the good old days when nobles were beheaded with a good honest axe and commoners were hanged like filthy rats? Now there's no dignity in death for the aristocracy. We're treated like peasants. Oh my god, I've never seen this event and I don't know what to do. That's an angle. Yeah, worthy. That sounds interesting. But no, I love that trash disappeared for some time and then came back, and there you go, we got this event. We should absolutely keep using these for commoners. Only us sounds like what a noble might want. Yeah. I'm kind of okay with not having a C. You know what? I'm going to let you choose on this. Yeah, this is something that the nobles want to decide on. You decide on. We must use the contraption on the commoners only, otherwise their corpses will stand taller than ours. I think all three are very valuable ideas, so I'm gonna let you choose. I'm gonna let you choose. It makes sense to use it for the commoners, because there's probably going to be a lot more commoners being killed than nobles, and so having swift executions for commoners would make a lot of sense. But I don't know. Wow, a lot of nobles are voting for equality. Huh. Interesting. Alright. I love that. Pat's vote C. I mean A. The complete opposite one. Okay. Currently it's 10 to 11 for equality. I'm going to be counting down from 5. If you have not voted, vote now. 4. Every vote matters. 9 to 10 to 11. 3. 2. 11 to 11. It's a tie. 1. Any vote can break the tie now. And 0. Oh my god, at the very last second! At the very last second! Marley with the vote on C. Oh my god. No, equality for all means everyone gets their heads chopped off. By the 9th, when did we start caring about equality? I don't, apparently you do. The common folk at least appreciate your fair-mindedness. Criminals start publicly thanking you moments before they rest their necks in the actual literal trash. That's weird. That is very weird. Because we can't be selfish anymore. Oh, no worry, no worry. Alright, Your Highness, I have good news. Those mercenary companies that we let loose into the wild, they're still returning profits. What a wonderful investment. I'm glad to hear it. I came here to give you your share, of course. Please take it. The question remains, Your Highness, whether or not we call it quits. Everyone deserves trash. Why would we do that? We sent them to Ashmead in order to blood them. They've more than proven themselves. We could bring them home and have them train in our military with their expertise. Or we can put them back to work with the expectation of future profit. Maintain the mercenary company as they are, bring them home to train the troops. Do we need them to train the troops? I like the money. I think we like the money. Yeah, exactly. If it's clearly working, I say we keep going. I say we maintain it. Yeah. Pretty easy choice. If Calimaco says money, I say money too. Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly. It's not your troops they want to train. They want to train their own troops, which is not really needed. Yeah, this is not for, like, if it had been let's train the coast and the south's militaries, I would have said, yeah, go for it immediately. Recall those pieces of shit. But no. No. That's not what they're saying. Alright, counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Boop. Let's go. Maintain them. And it's a success! The mercenaries continue their successful campaigns throughout Ashmead and beyond. A steady stream of income finds its way back to the kingdom with little effort on your part, keeping both you and the barons happy. That's a lot of freaking money. Good job. Y'all? And we don't even have an heir. Desertion. And that is why we must ensure that taxes are collected in regular intervals. If we were to... Your Highness, I have urgent news. What's the matter? The new model army has deserted us. Not only have they marshaled without my orders, they refuse to stand down. I'm sure it's just a miscommunication. Yeah, I'm sure it's just a miscommunication. I don't share your optimism, my king. Without a military, we will struggle to hold on to power. If I may interject. This is almost certainly the work of the barons. If I were to offer any advice, it would be to seek a treaty soon. This new model army, which I suspect takes orders directly from the march, cannot be beaten by any force on this continent. We made sure of that. Fuck. Can't you do something sneaky? Assassinate some important people? I think he would actually ask that. The time for that has passed. With the barons united and in full control of the military, I can do nothing to stop them. You know, the Calimacos have been a family of fighters. Fuck, again, yeah. Calimacos have been a family of fighters, but Calimaco the Fourth is has such a different metal. And I think he realizes that the army of the other two regions does not really compete. So I think he would say, then it's over. I'm sorry, Your Highness, the only strategy is to minimize losses. Perhaps you could negotiate a favorable surrender? You stalk out of the room, unwilling to hear more. Later that evening, you're joined by Altheus in your bedchamber. Judging by the look on his face, he's already heard the news. Oh, what have they done to you, my husband? Terrible, isn't it? He pats you on the back awkwardly. A few minutes of silence pass. Despite everything, it's still hard to believe that your reign might be about to end. Wow! I just love this line. I have to go for this one. Staying pragmatic. Just make sure, like, and you know, and this is also minimizing whatever may happen, right? Like, whatever happens opens the door to all sorts of terrible possibilities. Whereas this one is, just make sure the magnolias are watered. He frowns at you. If you say so. Will you talk to them? They might let you leave if you're willing to abdicate. Yeah, it starts and ends with a fuck. I will. Perhaps they'll be merciful. I'm sure they will. The next week passes in a blur. Word of your imminent removal spreads through the palace like wildfire. Everyone takes extra care to make you comfortable, as if you were a dying animal. That is so atrocious. When the new model army finally arrives in all its shining glory, you're handed over like a prized soul. Soon you're languishing in the dungeons. You lose track of the days, weeks, months, until it dawns on you. You'll be stuck down here for the rest of your life. Oh my god, that is so terrible. GG. Good job. Good game, and congrats to the Barons. That is intense. I have some things to say on this, don't go anywhere. By the time Calimaco IV finally expired decades later, the guards have forgotten the wizened old prisoner was ever a king. With no heir, the Calimacos are extinguished. The Grandee's attempt to worm their way into the palace was uncovered and a number of arrests were made. Grandee Mark ended his life chained upside down to a dungeon wall. Unable to convince the peasants to act in time, the patrician scheme fizzled into irrelevancy. Perhaps next time they take matters into their own hands, instead of hinging their plans on the whims of common folk. Marching to the Baron's orders, the new model army effortlessly took the palace and installed Gloria's queen. But the military reforms soon fell apart, destroyed by corruption and nepotism, while the new queen would prove harder to control than the Barons hoped. So, I love the fact that the king was deposed with a fight, and how ironic it is it that the king that has as motto broken yet unbeaten ends like this. He's technically been beaten, but there was no fight, so can he be said to be beaten? Right? King Calimaco IV, the rodent! Oh my god! Because he languished in the dungeon. Oh my god! Oh my god! That is very cruel. Oh my god. And I think that one of the reasons why a bunch of nobles went with the coup is that that last decision about equality, right? Some people, the people who were on the fence, probably smelled a little bit of republicanism there, and was like, nope, you're out. I still think that even after everything, Calimaco IV remained unbeaten. Some might say so, right? Like the people who orchestrated the coup will say, no, we beat Calimaco IV. Other people will say, no, you didn't. Like loyalists to the old lineage will say, no, you didn't. He stepped down. He didn't fight. You didn't beat him. I feel like the mouse might be more appropriate, given how quietly he went. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's the same cell. No, no. This is intense. Yeah, it died not with a bang, but with a whimper. Without the other regions strong enough militarily or an inspiring king who could physically lead them to war in the field meant that wasn't enough courage to contest the barons. I wouldn't say it was up to the king, to be quite honest. I wouldn't pin it on the... Like, putting it like that sounds like you're pinning it on the disability. I don't think that's what we're doing there at all. I think that it wasn't a lack of courage, it wasn't a lack of skill on the part of the king. It was just realism. Realizing that there was no point in fighting. And as much as fighting spirit is appreciated in the dynasty, that would have meant sacrificing uselessly the lives of many, many people in order to just prove a point. And he would have never done it. It was too good of a king to do that, you know? Yeah. I would say a march of an army is a bit of a bang. That's true, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, a lack of troops. A lack of troops. And the realism and honesty to say, no, we cannot fight, because it's going to be pointless, and people will die, and I don't want people to die. Because the king cared for the kingdom until the very last. Until the very last moment. He preferred to sacrifice himself and die wither in a dungeon than let his people leave. His people die. Useless, like, in a useless way, you know? Yeah. Now the status quo of the kingdom has been distributed. Disturbed? Yeah. Yeah, this is really interesting. I mean, this dynasty has been really cool so far. We've had really cool story arcs. I really love the new system of the mottos and how it's working, and yeah, we've had really cool stuff come up. Didn't rise to the bait by the barons to legitimize the coup by fighting the new model army. Yeah. Justin will be popularized as the queen is from the march. We'll see. Yeah, and he wasn't concerned at all about his husband being killed. Exactly. He was confident he was the only likely victim. Yeah. Yeah. I'm funner with this than I thought I would be. I think it makes a really cool storytelling arc. So, yeah. True honor, fighting silently and being able to help protect the people at the cost of himself. Yeah. This could mark the start of a great rift between loyalists and the old, and the new regime as the old merits of the new queen. We'll see. We'll see how Gloria is. By the way, let's see how Gloria is. Let's see. Oh, Gloria was a former bandit? Oh my god. I need... if you have the info on the claimant, please post it on the Discord somewhere. Like Vaspir, for instance, if you have it. So Wars is the richest. Brave Sir Robert is among the poorest. And... oh my god, look at Gloria! Look at Gloria! Not a warrior anymore, huh? Interesting. Interesting. The order to stand down would have come to as a shock to loyalist militaries who had their new horses. Yeah, definitely. She has blue hair pronouns. That Mindable is a key part of the scheme, so he will support the new order. However, knowing his character, would be disappointed that Calimaco IV didn't put up a fight. Makes sense, right? Based on your family history, on the values of your noble house. Yeah, it does make sense. Glorious death, right, in battle. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know, Trash. I don't know. We started with a bold monarch, so it's not like what I feared. An age of unquestioned Baron dominance. I don't think that's how it is, right? Yeah, there are plenty of Barons who aren't fine with this, exactly. And I'll figure out who Queen. I really love the switch in style from a fighter, from a soldier to this dress. This tells me something about Queen Gloria. So yeah, I'll make something up. Exactly, one way or another, King Calimaco IV brought peace and stability to the kingdom, even with their last breath. And, you know, one of the few things that I wrote down for Calimaco IV was, one of his beliefs was, running a kingdom is hard. Try to maintain peace and consider yourself lucky if you succeed. And he succeeded in a way. I don't know if he could consider himself lucky for this, though. I don't know. I need to think about it, sweet. And I have 2 full weeks for this, so we'll see. Alright, everybody. Don't go anywhere after this, because we're going to be raiding somebody. But this was episode 4 of the Bladesong Dynasty. Thank you so much for playing. I'll see you in episode 5 with Queen Gloria.